What's going on, YouTube? Thanks again for joining us on Jacked Bitcoin. Today, I'm just going to give a really quick update on what's going on with the price because it clearly fell below my 32 to 30,000 prediction, and it's even destroyed the descending wedge pattern, which is usually this kind of drop will happen because of news. And I'm just going to pull up real quick on what the news was. Basically, all these stupid news outlets reported that Bitcoin had a double spend issue, and it all came from this one bullshit FUD Cointelegraph article that referenced the BitMEX research article that they've since clarified that that's not what they were saying. But stupid Cointelegraph ran with it anyway. Basically, if you understand anything about blockchain, it's that the only attack vector of a blockchain, of Bitcoin's blockchain, is to create a double spend, which takes a 51% attack. Bitcoin was not 51% attacked. What apparently happened was, so when you create a transaction, you can spend X amount of Satoshis to kind of speed up that transaction to get the miners to pick it up. And what had happened was somebody spent about $21 and they paid a very low fee for it. It wasn't picked up, so they canceled that transaction, spent a higher fee to get that transaction through. And what it looked like was that there was an orphan block and the main chain registered 21, while the orphan block also registered 21, and they thought this was a double spend, but it wasn't. Thank God, though, Bloomberg, they're actually sensible people. They actually did their research and dug into this thing. They wrote a pretty nice article here why that's not what occurred. But as you see, most people who trade Bitcoin don't know what the fuck it is, and so they just dumped. I was expecting a bounce here, and it was all set for a nice little bounce towards the end of the day, and it just dumped once again. So as far as price goes, all our support levels are broken. The traditional chart pattern is broken. I have no idea what tomorrow is going to look like. I would imagine it will actually close at a green day above, I think just above 30 to 32,000. That's going to be my target for tomorrow, right here. And the reason I think that is because while news did drive the sell-off, the truth of the matter is the news is a lie. So nothing changed fundamentally. And the amazing thing that I would take away from this is that Bitcoin got stopped at about 28,000, 27,000. I mean, it might still go down overnight, but as news of that article being absolute dog shit is being disseminated, right now more and more people are realizing that they should not have sold around here. And one thing that I do want to show that's quite interesting, that again ties into the fact that I think it's very bullish, is that, 3 years ago when I got into this, when we had news like this, Bitcoin would have tanked like 30-40% in a day easily, and it did like 15% today. And the reason is institutions are still on the sidelines waiting to buy Bitcoin. I mean, look at Grayscale, right? They own $22 billion, $20 billion in Bitcoin. They bought 31,000 in just the last 7 days. In the last 24 hours, they bought 1,000. They bought almost 1,100 Bitcoin. So these institutions, and this is just one institution, right? So these institutions are creating a floor for how low Bitcoin can go. And so the issue becomes one of a philosophical one. I mean, you could sell to kind of protect your trade, but what you're actually doing is you're selling and putting Bitcoin in the hands of bankers, right? This is exactly what Bitcoin was designed not to oppose. And so if you're going to sell on fear, maybe you shouldn't even hold Bitcoin. This is not for you because you're theoretically and fundamentally not of this world. Now, if you actually believe in Bitcoin and you're a hodler and you're just trading it a little bit to try to accumulate more Bitcoin, more power to you. I think you should buy back very soon because, again, this news is FUD. And we seem to have found a floor at 28,000. I don't see us going even lower because this news is just absolute bullshit. And what I'm going to say, so this is what I had going on the other days, but what I see happening now is we're probably going to start trading sideways in the next few days. We're going to start trading sideways. And then possible recovery sometime towards the end of the month. So I see us going to be range bound. We're not probably going to be above 34,000 for a while. I don't see us testing that until maybe the weekend or even after that. But yeah, while the news is being digested right now, I see us just trading within this range of 30,000, 28,000 to 34,000 the next few days until the end of the month.
Do you consider this as something that's healthy though, because we didn't break out so quickly into like 40,000?
No, the reason it's not healthy or unhealthy is because this was not a trading thing that happened. This was a news thing, and news basically changes the whole calculation. Like if this happened on its own, I would be just confused as fuck. This doesn't make any sense at all. Like because in order for Bitcoin to dump this much this quickly, it would be a need to be a coordinated event. Not that there's a conspiracy of people selling at the same time, but it needs something to unify people to make a decision at around the same time. So if there's no news to unify people to make the decision at the same time, then this doesn't happen in normal trading. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, it broke my support completely, but based on news. I mean, today we should be going back up, to be honest. Yeah, I even went deeper than my BPVR. Got stopped right here. 20, just below 29,000. I mean, our next support level is like 27.5. I don't see why would it even go down there, because like I said, I would be worried if this was retail, but considering we have pure institutions just buying it up every time these dips happen, they're just buying it up. And look, we have on the 1 hour, this is a very nice volume, kind of reversal candle. Before this extra dump around 2-3 p.m., I thought we were turning back around. This was in the early mornings between 9 and 12 a.m. The reason I was turning around is because I started to notice a small divergence in the price action there. Just a tiny one. It looks better on the smaller time frames. But now I'm even more convinced that at least on the hourly, we are seeing a true divergence between the RSI and the price. Right? We get a higher low on the RSI with a lower low on the price action. So this would definitely be one good indicator that we are turning back around, or that the sell-off has for now cooled. Now the question of how high up we're going to recover, I don't know yet. I'm actually in a long position right now. I don't have my Binance open, but I'm in a long position, taking a bit of a loss, but I'm not getting out of it, and it's one reason I don't set stops, because had I set a stop, I'd have been out of my position just 100%. I would have lost my money, and just based on the fundamentals that institutions are buying the dip, and what I'm seeing on the 1 hour, I'm not convinced it's time to get out of that trade. And in fact, I think tomorrow it could be a very, very profitable trade for me tomorrow or going into the weekend. And look, this bounce on the 1 hour is actually looking quite good. This is pretty decent volume as well. So I think as people begin to realize that this FUD fear is just absolute bullshit, I think we're going to start coming back up, probably about the 33 range. Probably look to close around 33,000 tomorrow. That'd be my guess, but we'll see what happens. 33,000. Oh, probably about 32,000. According to the VPVR, I'd say we're probably going to close about 32,000, which is just on the bottom of where I had the original support had this not happened. So actually, what I think, this pennant is obviously not in play anymore ever since the breakdown. I had my descending triangle here, and I don't think there's a way to play that. So what I'm actually thinking is going to happen is now we're just going to trade within a channel. There you go. So I think we're going to trade within this channel for a little bit up and down, maybe breakout again towards the end of the month. So I think this is what we're going to be seeing happening next few days. All right, YouTube, thank you very much, and stop selling your Bitcoin and giving it into the hands of institutions. This is not what we want to happen, okay? If you want to play the futures, but if you're going to sell in the spot market, do not sell in this bullshit. Like, really, take the time, read about the Bitcoin blockchain. Andreas Antonopoulos is an absolute genius. Look him up. He will explain how everything works. And a double spend just does not happen. It takes a 51% attack to happen. And right about now, Bitcoin is sucking up the energy of about the 6 largest countries in the world. So the bottom 6. So you're probably like number 7 right now. So somebody would have to use, forget the equipment costs, but just the power to supply the 7th largest country in the world. That's how much power it takes to hack Bitcoin. It just does not happen. Right? So wake up, or don't even trade this shit. Okay? All right, Bitcoiners. See you again.